Hello and welcome to the tutorial on how to improve your 1 and 2 finger rolls. Okay, so I see that a lot of people, including myself, when you do 1 finger rolls, oftentimes, sometimes it'll get caught up or lock. The strings will wrap over each other. And I found that this is because there are actually 2 different ways that the beads can roll over your finger for a 1 finger roll. And I'm going to show you both ways right now. So as you can see in those slow-mos, the first one, my fingers are all tucked in, and the bead kind of, or the string kind of wraps fully around my finger, and then sort of unwinds. And the trouble with that is that when that happens, it gives too much of an opportunity for the bead to, or the string to get caught or lock up, or the beads to cross. So you can see that in the second example, they kind of just switch place. The string never really wraps around the finger. It just kind of is in contact with one part of the finger at the time, if that makes any sense. You can see in the slow-mo better than I can explain it. So I don't know why this happens, but the way to make the second and superior version of the roll happen is if you do so with your fingers all outstretched and the finger you're rolling over being the only finger sticking in toward your hand. And now this might look weird, but this is called bicycle plane. So my hand is directly out from my chest. I'm keeping my palm toward the left of me and the back of my hand toward the right of me, and then cupping my fingers inward, right? So that's how I'm able to do these motions with my hand. Sometimes it might look a little weird in the video. You might think my hand is actually stretching backwards. It's not. It's actually just sticking forward, and the beads are moving either directly away from me or directly toward me. So to give an example of the middle finger roll that you saw in the slow-mo, as you are pulling the bead upward, you stick your ring finger outward, so the only finger that's sticking out, or the only finger that's in the motion of or in the way of the beads is the middle finger. And then you do a little shake, and that should give that superior roll motion. It's very much reliant on control. So if you're trying to do it too fast, it will lock up, or too slow. So there's a sweet spot for the speed. And then definitely have that little shake. Shake your hand just that tiny amount as you roll upward. And so when you are doing this version of the roll where the beads kind of just float around your finger, it removes the possibility of the string catching up and locking up on each other. So that should help if you are struggling with that. Now, onto 2 finger rolls. So the 2 finger roll I'm going to be going over is this downward one from the index and middle, and it goes over your middle and ring finger, and then you catch in the ring and pinky position. So a common problem with this is when you roll over your fingers, there you go, it locks up. Or also the string it might seem like your string is too long, as you saw right there, that quick clip. I'm actually now going to show you 2 slow motion versions of a 2 finger roll, and that will show the 2 different ways that it can be done. So as you saw in those two clips, the string came very much over the middle finger and then kind of slipped back down into the grip, low grip. And the problem with that is that if you have an even longer string than mine, my string is about 5.5 inches long in between the beads. If you have an even longer string than that, if you do that version of the two-finger roll in which the beads hit each other and sort of push, it'll be even further over. And that's going to be pretty hard to do that kind of method where it just kind of shimmies back down into your low grip. So the way to remedy that is to sort of toss the beads, as you saw in the second version of the two-finger roll I just showed you. And how you do that is you sort of, instead of letting the string come in contact with your middle and ring finger on the back of your hand, you want to follow the trajectory of the bead. So to clarify what I mean by that, you want to, as the bead is flying away from you, you want to sort of pop it up with your hand and let go. They just came in contact there. That wasn't a good example, but you want to let go pretty much before the string is going to come in contact with the back of your hand, and sort of pop it up, pop your hand up, and give it, I don't know how to say this, a toss? It comes with practice and timing, but you don't want during the two-finger roll, you don't want the string to come in contact with your hand at all, if that makes any sense, or just very lightly wrapping around, because what you're doing is you're essentially tossing the beads and letting them float around in the air, and you're using your fingers as an intercept point. And what will happen is, as the beads are flying around, no matter how long your string is, they will start falling down. So if you go back and look at that slow-mo clip again, I'm catching the beads as they are falling down. So no matter how long your string is, right, it will go down into that low grip, and then it will still be flying or rotating toward you, so then you can continue your flow. So I'll try to show you quickly what I mean by that. Oops, gonna move my camera there. See, no matter how long your string is, I mean, if it's insanely long, maybe it won't work, but it will kind of plop right into your low grip. All right, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Do you have any other questions or tricks you want me to go over? You know, I'm willing to go back and go over other tricks I've already done tutorials on and go into more depth like this. I'm not very happy with my original rolls tutorial. I think my two-finger roll tutorial goes over pretty much the essentials here, but I didn't really explain in good enough detail the tossing that you can do to catch the longer string setups. So yeah, have a good one, guys.